Mic check, mic check. Yo, clock's in. You can go ahead and make the request.
All right, we in here.
Yo, what's the word?
Yo, peace to the God. Peace to the gentleman. Peace. Yeah.
When we do it like this, is half chapter?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. I got to position mine too. There we go. Boom. All right.
Alrighty.
Okay. Peace. Oh, that's Coach Triple. That's cool dude right there. Family's coming in quick. Okay.
Bet.
Peace to everybody. Peace to the Universal family. We in here.
So tonight's topic is in reference to greatness.
Okay.
How people expect and want greatness, but don't want to work for it.
Wow. Yeah, that is pretty
These
common.
are the main people that complain the most about not being great, about not having what they want to have, not having what they need when they need it, not being in the position that they want to be in. You know what I'm saying? That's the craziest thing in the world to me. You know, these are the people that feel like they can afford to slack or to give 50%, 25%, can afford, to sleep more than they grind. These are people that think they can afford not to constantly learn and educate themselves on a daily basis. I'm just really trying to understand this.
Yeah.
It's just mind-boggling to me.
I mean, I guess it's natural for everyone to want things to be easy, right? Everybody wants it to be easy. Nobody wants to. Well, I guess unless you're on a certain caliber, but like the general population wants things to be easy, so they don't want to have to go through the challenges to get the rewards. They just want to get the rewards.
Really, the challenge is the reward. The challenge is the reward. Because the experience within the challenge, it's like the gift of the challenge is the outcome of the challenge. You see what I mean? The gift of the challenge is the outcome of the challenge, and you can't receive that particular gift of that magnitude without facing the challenge.
Right. So basically, you can't find your solution without the challenge that brings forth the experience. You'll never find it.
Is the beauty is inside the experience. It's always in the experience. People want to escape the experience.
That part.
Want the experience.
Yeah.
And now there are some rewards to certain things, but it's only going to be on a certain level, or it's going to be short-lived. It's not going to have longevity. You see what I mean? Because that's like if a person can accidentally come up on a couple grand. You know what I'm saying? Accidentally come up on some money. Maybe inheritance, maybe whatever. But if the person has lacked the experience of gaining the knowledge and the wisdom and understanding how to utilize money, how to build money, how to leverage money, how to save money, how to, you know what I'm saying, how to capitalize, create capital gains off the money that they have within the situation that they're in, they're still going to end up back in the same position that they started.
That's deep. 'Cause I know
So
someone personally who's done that, and I've even done it in ways like I'll be like, oh, if I had this, I could easily do this. But then when I look back in my life, I'm like, wait a minute. A few months ago, I did have that, but I didn't do this. So what am
every
I talking about?
everybody and that's another typical thing. Everybody believes, or at least starts off believing until they get the wisdom to understanding that that's a false. That to be false is that they believe the money is the answer. The money is the cure. If I had this amount of money, then I could do this, do that. I could do it, and it's not now. A certain amount of money might be able to start a fire, right? But if you don't know how to properly feed that fire, it's gonna eventually put itself out.
Yeah.
You have to constantly be able to feed that fire.
Mm.
You can have the best car in the world, right? You know, but if you don't know the proper gasoline to put inside that vehicle, you're gonna fuck up the engine. And if you can't afford to continue to fuel that vehicle, you ain't gonna get nowhere.
So how do we solve this problem then? Since
Un-
so many people experiencing this.
we have to break the bad habit of seeking comfort. We got to break the bad habit of seeking comfort and ease and convenience. We are suckers for convenience.
Mm.
Everything to be convenient for them. I try not to get so mad every time. I try to, I practice patience a lot because
Right. Like, is there something wrong with being comfortable? Like, it ain't that bad, right? Just to
I'm
be
not very
relaxed.
when it comes to certain things, especially when people say that they want something. And if you say you want this, that might require you to do X, Y, Z and to know X, Y, Z. In order to know X, Y, Z, you have to put the time in to gain the knowledge of X, Y, Z. You see what I mean? So, but I didn't have, this goes back again. I didn't have the privilege to have somebody teach me a particular skill. You see what I mean? Within the areas that of my focus right now. I
Right.
didn't I didn't have the privilege to say, oh, I want to do this. Hey, can you teach me this? Show me. If I wanted to do that, I had to utilize my resources that's at the tip of my fingertips by Googling. Before Google, I was in a library. You see what I mean? And actually, and I might not have known the source of, the actual information or enlightenment, but I knew where to start. And as long as I started at the closest area of the journey of wisdom within that area, I will eventually be led to the promised land of knowledge. You see what I mean? And understanding of whatever subject. But you have to start at the starting point that you have access to. And it's going to lead you to the next door. It's going to lead you to the next door. And it's going to be a continuous cycle. And that's how learning is. It's a continuous cycle, and it's a never ending story, you know. But to
Okay.
me, I feel like I don't know, man. A lot of people live comfortable lifestyles, but are uncomfortable. That are really not happy where they are. You know, I believe in, grind now so you can shine. Grind hard now so you can shine hard later. You know,
Mm.
so it's like, yo, I'm I'm 36 years old right now, right? So I might have goals or whatever, like, and I'm already behind schedule on my goals. You see what I mean? So I'm my hardest critic. You know, I stay on my own ass, right? It's a privilege to have somebody to stay on your ass, right? It's actually a blessing to have somebody that stays in your head, right? That constantly challenge you and push you. But people are so uh, non-confrontational or whatever. Confrontation is not necessarily a negative. You need people and things to keep pressure on you. within certain areas. You know what I'm saying? So as long as those certain areas are areas that can uplift you and help you develop, in certain aspects of your life, whether it's mentally, spiritually, psychologically, whatever. You see what I mean? So without these challenges, it can't stimulate any growth. We have to seek counsel. We have to seek challenge. You say so, and we do that by seeking counsel and challenge within our reach, whoever that might be, wherever that might be. Where can I get the challenge necessary to put me on the level that I need to be in and that I want to be in? Am I doing that? You see what I mean? Am I seeking proper challenge? That's what we got to ask ourselves. Like, am I actually really seeking proper challenge, right? Because that takes a self-commitment. That's you, because a lot of people want the easy route. You know,
Right.
who and or what is gonna push me to the limit? How can I put myself in a situation that forces me to level up, and
Right.
that forces me to commit to it? You know,
Okay.
how can I trick myself to commit to myself?
Hmm. Okay, so I got a question then. So you say seek challenge, right? And that's a big thing. But like when I go into these topics, I like to break down the balance between both sides. So I feel like a lot of people who want to evolve, they actually do know the answers and they do know what they need to do, but it's always something stopping them. So I'm gonna ask you, what stops people from, seeking that challenge all the time to evolve? Because I feel like they know if they do embark on that journey, they will change and evolve, but it's always something stopping them. What is that? Is it fear? Like what's stopping
It's a combination of it's an internal war with the ego. Um,
them?
it's an internal war with just self in general. As far as that's a mixed combination of fear, doubt. Um, it's almost like a person sort of underestimates themselves, and it could have been aided by maybe their current surroundings, maybe their peers have doubted them or not.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Somebody said traumas, lack of accountability in the comment. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
All these things play a part, psychologically, and for the most part, a lot of these things, some of these, it could be 50-50, half and half sometimes, depending on the person, but a lot of times it's stemming from our our upbringings and the people that we were initially surrounded with. Usually, we don't have. Okay, it wasn't meant for you to be great, meaning by the way the world sees. Like, the United States didn't want the citizens of the United States to be great. You know what I'm saying? They just want you uh to do enough, to know enough, to work enough, to get by, so you can always have to come back and serve master, right? So
Right.
it was never meant for you to be dependent. It was never meant for you to break those chains of independency, or dependency rather. So, so 9 times out of 10, in most households, especially melanated, the act of being great was almost like a illusion, a delusion, and you know, it a sense of impossibility. Where it's like, you know, a person would damn near tell you. It could be your mom and your father, like, hey, you need to, focus in. You need to focus on reality. You need to, need to take back to school and get a good job. Shit real out here. And you like, shit, I want to do more than that. But you get trained like, hey, you need to go to school, get a good job, but not educating you or pre-warning you that if you pay all these $1,000, or if you commit to the debt of college without a proper understanding of what college is, with a very strategic plan, while you're in college, you're gonna go through all those years, graduate, get hit with a big fat sum of debt, and be working at Walmart. because in college, and they didn't teach you in college that you're supposed to actually be gaining your experience while you're in college. So if you wasn't interning, you wasn't volunteering in XYZ, you're gonna graduate and apply for that career job, and they're gonna tell you, well, you don't have any experience. See, they're not gonna tell you that the things that you need to do and involve yourself in on top of your regular curriculum that will position you uh, in the actual career that you're going for. Or they didn't tell you also that the career that you want to be in is going to be irrelevant by the time you graduate. The industry that you're going in is depleting every day that you go that you're attending that college. And they're not going to tell you that it's damn near going to be you're going to be in the negatives in debt because you just invested into an obsolete industry. That's like going to school right now to say look at music producers.
Okay.
You know, I thought I was the shit going to, one of the best schools in Chicago for music production. But if I would have utilized my resources within that school, I probably would have been in a better position. But like I thought I just needed to show up, pass the class, and just going back to my regular life. But you have to embody the lifestyle of being a student and utilizing every resource within that facility. You know what I'm saying? Inside and outside. In order to really reap the benefits. But you're talking about music, which is an industry that doesn't have a bachelor requirement. It doesn't require certification. How dope are you making beats? Are you good or not? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Are you good or not? They're not gonna they didn't look at Kanye West and be like, oh, well, do you have a bachelor's? Where school? Right. They don't give two shits.
They just super good, so yeah.
Yeah, most of these guys are college dropouts.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so we got the system is designed for us to fail. That's the one thing that it stops us because there's so many things that set us up to not ever even be in position to want to grow. And then self-accountability is challenge. Okay. You gotta chase challenge.
Somebody said lack of accountability. Yes, accountability is a huge factor. Most people do not take accountability, for the and responsibility for their act, for their thoughts. Like people, I hear a lot of people blame people and things for, oh, I think like this because, or I respond like this because XYZ, XYZ, XYZ. That's still a personal choice. That's
right.
Decision to continue to be angry. You have to make it. It's a decision to hold grudge. It's a decision to retaliate. It's a decision. It's a decision to be great. It's a decision to be happy. It's a decision to be humble. It's a decision to be. You know what I'm saying? These are decisions. You see what I mean? I can decide something can happen. This goes again with separating the actual circumstance, separating the emotion from the circumstance. That is what it is, and this is over here. Now, at being human, well, in human form, it's certain things are going to trigger an initial emotion. But the more that we get control over self, we can feel the initial emotion, identify what the emotion is, accept it for what it is, accept the circumstance for what it is, and separate the circumstance from the emotion. Because you can't. It's only a certain level of success that you can have in any situation if it's being fueled or the foundation of your movement is on the grounds of fear, doubt, or anger. That energy has to be converted over to some sense of motivation to help fuel you to get through the challenge. You know, it has to turn to some type of motivation. You know, where it becomes a fire now. You know what I'm saying? It becomes a torch. You know, and that's how you be great. You know, because you ever seen like a super religious person that's, you know, they're super religious and they're super positive when positive things are happening, but when something bad happens, quote unquote, uh, then they don't know how to apply that positive that so-called religious positivity in a negative situation. That's where it matters. That's what shows if you're actually if you're actually a controlled, grounded person, if you're actually that, if you actually have control over your thoughts and your emotions, and you're actually you know, are in a sense of, you know, uh, a master of your own mind, a master of your own thoughts, and in return a mastermind of his self or herself, then that's where you show off those skill sets during case by case scenarios where it's not necessarily positive. You know, that's where you activate those. That's where you utilize that. You know, but if when bad happens, all that shit goes out the window, and you respond strictly off emotion or off the negativity itself. Are you really a positive person? Are you really a religious person? Are you really a spiritual person? Or is just it's a lot of people put on the act. So they feel like if I say positive things all day, if I do this, do that, then I'm a positive person. No, you're not really embodying the trait. You're not really putting forth the you know, the meditation to really embody and control those emotions on an every case basis. You know what I'm saying? It used to get so with me that certain happen, a person would automatically assume I'm supposed to respond a certain way, and they'll think something wrong with me because I'm not giving them a response. I have like I know how to deal with things on a neutral playing field. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, everybody has their buttons and stuff like that, but I try to control. I try to control those type of influences that would influence me to lose my shit. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that, because I know myself, and I know once he leaves the building, ain't no coming back. You see what I mean? So I try to keep him at a center place. You know what I'm saying? Because I know myself. You know what I'm saying? We all we all have an inner beast. We all have an inner beast. You see what I mean? We all have a dark side. The dark side is actually a shield of protection in a certain way. You know, the beast is there to deal with other beasts like people or things. You know what I'm saying? You know, so we all embody some form of demon inside of us. You know, as far as darkness. You see what I mean? In order to deal with other darkness, but he needs to be well managed. You know what I'm saying? And controlled. You know, that person, that part of self can't be the forefront of who you are. You know what I'm saying? Nor should a person be able to necessarily read, you know, like it's some people that you kind of look at and be like, oh yeah, he look wild. You know what I'm saying? like you could just be like, put it like this, like somebody come in like, you know, they got that grimy look on their face where you want to check your pockets before you leave the building and shit. You got to watch it. You know, a person that you just feel like you can't trust because they have that energy, they have that vibration, they have that look. You don't know this person from a can of paint, but you don't feel safe. You see what I mean? So that's because their outer self, they allowed the inner self to be the outer self. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that person, like, to be honest with you, I'm mentally prepared to go to hell and back as far as in a sense of spiritual war, right? Like I even like almost like don't you know Street Fighter?
Oh yeah.
Put it like perfect example. Okay, Street Fighter. I'm gonna tell you exactly where they showed this at. What I'm talking about. Street Fighter, the animation. I think it was Street Fighter 3, when Ken and Ryu met Dodlam, and inside the cave and get the statue.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna send that to you. So they say everybody that ever went into that sacred temple has never made it out. Now, a child goes in there, a child can come in and come right back out because the child's heart and spirit is pure, right? But
Wow.
so Ken and Ryu went in there and they almost killed each other.
Huh.
They almost killed each other until they was able to identify themselves and their opponent. And once they realized that, they realized they was fighting themselves. They didn't know they was fighting themselves at first.
Damn.
You see what I mean? So I want you to go back and watch that. You're gonna love it.
Okay.
There's a lot of gems in that Street Fighter 3 animation. But that's
I
not
watch the second one with Ryu and
a, a lot of people are at war with themselves, and they do a deflection method to try to put blame on people and things outside of themselves.
Okay.
Most people have not successfully conquered the war with self. That's what we gotta understand. First of all, most people still have an unspoken battle, and most people try to mask this because it's easier to try to mask things and suppress it. You know, another key. If we study Scientology, and Scientology, they have a area of study called the science of the mind, which is Dianetics. So when you go through Dianetics, they I know you've seen the movie Get Out, right?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Okay, so that's literally how it is in real life. As far as I used to be an actor, Scientologist back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I've been involved in I went through a lot of spiritual chambers to really get an understanding on what's what and what's not, and why I've come to my conclusion of self now. But
I didn't know that.
you have to
Okay.
go, yeah, Buddhism, Scientology, Christianity, Hinduism. I didn't dip and dabble with all type of stuff, even some warlock shit, to be honest. But
Okay.
you know, so I know both the light side and the dark side. You know, and you got to, in order to be able to compare the two together, to either determine what's really light and what's really dark. What most people think is light is dark. What most people think is dark is light. You know, everything has been flipped. And look, they have trained everybody to be afraid of the dark. And inside the darkness is where you will see the light. You have to go through the darkness. You have to go through the darkness. So in Dianetics, they put you in this room. So they do this thing called auditing. And they put you in this room. Literally, the room is probably, let's say, 3 to 4 feet wide, all around the board. It's a perfect square. You know what I'm saying? Like enough for you to sit in front of me, and we're like right here, and like we could touch the wall if we did like this or whatever. It's like a room. And so the person that sits in front of you is called the auditor. So the auditor's job is to help, is to almost be like your thought manager, right? So now, if anybody that's done any research or heard anything about Scientology, they probably heard some negative things about Scientology, because they said a lot of people, like Tom Cruise was a Scientologist, Oprah Winfrey, was like a big thing back in the day, especially it was like a wealthy religion, like very, like they was involved in a lot of shit too. That's why because they became like the youngest, the newest, youngest respected and recognized religion. It was all type of big shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's similar to the Masons and whatnot. How that goes? Is it similar to the Masons or no? Not exactly.
Nah, I wouldn't say that. Okay. I wouldn't say it's close. But I will tell you this.
I only hear bad stuff about that too.
Nah, you see, the Masons are so misunderstood. You know what I'm saying? Like that's another realm that I've been in, and one of the first areas that I've been in, and you know, it's not what people perceive it is. But what I will say is this: there is levels to the shit, and most people, like in the so-called black community, it wouldn't be odd for you to meet a Mason. Like somebody be like, "Oh yeah, I'm a Mason.
Right.
I'm in temple such and such. I'm in the such and such lodge. So you be like, and these people be like very basic niggas. You know what I'm saying? To be honest,
Right.
just to be honest with you. So and then they do a lot of pronouncing that. So from my experience and what I know, like a real Mason don't really, you know what I'm saying? It's like neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? He don't really speak on, oh, I'm a Mason. Hey, I'm a Mason. I don't Mason. We don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because now that shows and proves that anybody can walk through any door and sign up for some shit, especially if you're gonna pay your dues. But that don't mean. But start off on the ground floor. There's levels to this shit, and most people never make it up any stairs in that shit. To be honest with you, to be even respected on a certain level. Now, when it comes to I'll go to the Scientology. Dianetics. Dianetics is the science of the mind. So L. Ron Hubbard is like the leader of that whole organization, and basically he was addicted to understanding how the mind works. The science of the mind is actually a good concept, and it's lots that you can gain understanding with that. But it's like a double-edged sword when you go through the Church of Scientology. Just my personal opinion. Usually, the programming aspect of that is the reason why most people go in, but they never come out. Literally, because what happens is they believe that since we gave you access to all of this wealth of knowledge and information, you owe your life to us. Now you serve us. So most of those people that work at the church, they work for free. I'm talking about long ass hours, like they report for duty on your ass, and most people that are weak minded, or weak spiritually, or just emotionally, these are the people that really do not make it out. You know what I'm saying? At all. I've seen some crazy shit, inside of there. But what happens is this: they want you to get to a clear. They call it a clear. So basically, the whole point of this is going to your earliest point of pain and suffering, right? So your earliest point of pain and suffering. And then when you find that early, so also all these areas that you suppressed and stuff like that. So once you recover that, it could have been 7 years ago. Now they want you to go even further. It's to the point where you go back to the birth of yourself. And so it's people that actually have relived their birthing. You know what I'm saying? Relive birthing, because what happens is the brain, when you're forced to go back in time mentally, and then see what once you reach that point, all right, let's say it was a time when you was a kid, you slammed your hand in the door. All right, okay, pain body 1. Okay, so now this is what they do. Okay, what did you see? Now, when they ask you what did you see, you have to express everything. So meaning your eyes are closed, you in this get out room. Like no joke. Like you in the get out room. You know what I'm saying? And so okay, so what really did I see? I'm talking about all the things that you saw, but wasn't really conscious that you were, that, you know what I'm saying, that your peripheral was even recording that. I mean, I did see a red bird right there. I seen a red bird. It's a bird. What is the bird doing? It's eating. It's eating on the fruit on the tree. Oh, also it was a dog right there too. It was just that you picking up all of these different things. So the thing is, you're reactivating the senses. So what did you see? What did you feel? What did you smell? You send me all these things. You recover. So you act. So now the brain is believing that it's actually there again.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, because what happens is once you give the auditor all the information, like exhaust yourself of every aspect of every sense that you remember and recall. They call it recall, memory recall. All right, they ask you, okay, they say reset. They call it come back to present moment. So so a lot of the tactics they use too are used in like hypnosis. All right. So so now once you come back to present moment, you might take a deep breath, and then they want you to go back again. Now go back again and give me more information. Go deeper. And so you might go past that moment and go into all type of shit. A lot of us have a suppressed shit that we fucking around literally really forgot about. Like most people, and that's how people kind of move past and live past things that really that's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? They like, and a lot of times we just skip past it. We didn't really accept it for what it was. You see what I mean? It wasn't accepted. It wasn't digested. It was just skipped over and masked. And so at any given point, that door is unlocked again. You know, somebody can use a trigger word, say the wrong thing. You can see the wrong thing. Any given time, that door can be reopened, and now this new old person comes back and reveals itself, which is the person that we ultimately fear the most, right? Because the person that you fear the person that you was based upon what that person felt and the position that person was in. You might have felt at your most to be vulnerable, weak, scared. This, and that. Everybody knows that feeling of defeat, weakness, disablement, whatever. And we never want to experience that again. It's just like shit. It's funny. It's a funny joke but it ain't really funny to me. It's like but some people that know me know it's like a joke. It's like an inside joke. I might wake up and say, "Damn, fuck! I just had a nightmare." And if I'm talking to a person that know me, they'll laugh out loud and say like, they say, "Let me guess, your bank account." I say, "Yeah." I had a fucking nightmare. I had a fucking nightmare. You know what I'm saying? I was broke. You know what I'm saying? I had a fucking nightmare. You know what I'm saying? I had a fucking nightmare. My account balance was negative. You see what I mean? So it caused so that's something. So because of that fear, I have to acknowledge that fear. Yes, I never again in fucking life, right? But which is also what I utilize and convert that energy into a fuel of fire, of motivation to always have me do the things that I need to do to always make sure that can never be a possibility, right?
Okay.
So I'm not scared of it per se, like to where it stops me from doing anything. I just remember the fear. I remember how it feels, and I make sure I remind myself how it feels, and that's how I also stay grounded.
Right? So you literally transmute that fear into the positive energy, like what you were talking about.
Yeah, wow. I have to remember. I think every year we have to recalculate growth in order to determine if shit, did you do any fucking growth and development this year? Every year that you add on a new year of age, you should be able to determine a new age of growth, a higher level of growth and development within self. If you're not, you allow self to be depleted in some way, form, or fashion. You should not be stagnant in the same mental position, financial position, psychological position, physical position, year after year after year. There should always be a track record, and this should be something you should be able to, anybody should see and should be able to vouch for. You know what I'm saying? This is public record.
Yeah.
This is public record. You know what I'm saying? So
that's what I try to do. I gotta be better. Otherwise, I'm disappointing myself.
Yeah.
If I'm not like 10 times better than I was last year, and 10 times is the minimum, honestly, for me. I gotta be better every year. Otherwise, my younger self's gonna be angry with me.
I remember I gotta always remind myself of the days where, yeah, I have $5 to my name, $5 in my pocket, right? I'm still trying to trying to allocate those funds to get this and get that. I remember the days going to the blood banks, right? Now the fucked up part about my shit, my stories, I never even got an opportunity to I wasn't even privileged to even but I take that back. That was also a blessing. It was a blessing that I could not take advantage of opportunities to make money that was outside of my destiny or my journey. That was outside the scope of my journey. Like me making money outside the scope of my journey did never worked out for me. It never works out because it goes against, because you're allocating time and energy outside of self and the journey that self is supposed to be on. So I go to the blood bank and donate some blood to get a couple dollars and shit to put on the bills, put on the rent. I couldn't do that because I had too many tattoos. You got too many tattoos, they can't even find, the like, it fucks up everything. So I tried Lyft, Uber, that shit didn't work. Fucking wheel fall off my car breakdown. I tried every little thing to make money outside of my shit, and it's never worked for me. So that forced me to make it do what it do. You know what I'm saying? And that's the biggest thing. One of the best things that could ever happen to me is for me to get fired from my jobs. You know what I'm saying? Why employment never worked out for me. You know. So it's one of those things. So by the time I finally, committed to, being independent, running my own business and stuff like that, psychologically, I still had to keep myself on course. So there'll be times where I'll be driving and I'll see like money ain't really, money kind of is still kind of, really ain't really comfortable, So I drive past certain, help wanted signs, now hiring, be big as hell. You know what I'm saying? I remember the exact signs and locations where I almost tapped out. I'm like, I used to tell myself like, well, maybe I could just work, part-time and just XYZ, XY. That's what everybody, well, maybe I could just, no, you have to be full-time dedicated to you and what you have to do to succeed in the area that you are invested in. Like if you're doing destiny work, you can't be part-time. That's full-time job. You know what I'm saying? So I used to have to force myself like, nah, I'm not filling out no job applications. I'm not doing, I did that for 10 years, but for it took me maybe the first 6 or 7 for that cycle to break where I wasn't even looking at that shit. Like I wasn't even considering the shit no more. I was never even so after about the 7th year, it's like a person mentioning a job to me was like disrespectful. It was like a job. Like once I understood the concept of time, I was able to break the clock. Once you're able to break the clock, you'll realize, you're like, damn, that's the craziest thing in the world. Wow. You devote your time to a particular job on an hourly basis, working 40, 50, 60 hours a week to get to make what? 15, 20, 25, 30, 40, whatever the fuck an hour. It never adds up. It never adds up. It like never adds up. You can never really build a foundation or a strong bridge. Well, it depends on how strategic you are. I knew I was good with money. You know what I'm saying? But most people, because it takes time. If you the average person doesn't have the power and mental power and strength to work a 40-hour-a-week job, and most people doing overtime to make extra money. You put in 50 to I was putting in 60 hours a week easy. You know what I'm saying? And you talking about going to work at 6 p.m., getting off at 6 a.m., and then the first thing I do when I walk in the crib is sit my ass in front of these computers like I'm doing right now. I was doing the same shit then. You know what I'm saying? Because I always told myself then, I'll be damned if I give these niggas eight to 12 of my hours, right? 8 to 12 of my hours. If you work an 8-hour shift, you're really giving at least 10 hours of energy, because the time that it takes to prepare, an hour before, an hour after, you see what I mean? That's still out. so it's like, and that's the whole objective is to if they control all your time, that means you don't physically or virtually have any time to do the shit that you need to do, because how many hours do you need to sleep, right? You gotta eat, gotta wash your ass, gotta do all that stuff. So by the time you get done doing all that shit, you know what I'm saying? If you got a fucking girlfriend, kids, are you fucked? You know what I'm saying? If you're not a certain type of person that is just a fucking madman savage, that's gonna not see. This is the thing. I always made sure I figured out some type of way to leverage the time that I was on somebody else's time, right? So even if I was on the assembly line, I'm on the assembly line working for Ford. How the fuck am I putting in time for self on the assembly line? It's impossible, right? No, not really. So we was able to wear headphones. So during the time so I used to so that I take that time. So that means for 12 hours, I'm listening to you know what I'm saying, Eckhart Tolle, you know, Bob Proctor's, my, you know, whatever, you know, Phil Valentine, whatever I'm listening to at the time to feed my consciousness, to feed my mental. I'm feeding my brain the whole 12 hours. So physically I'm there, but mentally I'm tapped in. Then I always have my notepad. You know, I'll do a couple things, whatever. I pull out. I'm digesting thoughts. Ideas are coming right now. I'm a robot right now. But so they got my body, but I got my mind for 12. You see what I mean? So as I come in, so now when a new idea or thought come in, so I'm restructuring shit on the job. So I pull out my pad and I write it down. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. The whole time I'm just plotting. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. So by the time I get home, I devote at least 2 to 4. So I try to do for 2 to 4 hours into whatever. But remember, I was already writing my roadmap for the day and my to-do list while I was at the plantation. So when I get to the crib, you still up. You're not, you know what I'm saying? Fuck you. You don't lay down, don't do none of that shit. Get right to work, bang that shit out, wake up, and that makes it a well worth day. You know what I'm saying? That's a balance. And all right, I gave y'all the time, but I also invested my time back in self, and I utilized my time with you to stay mentally in my game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mentally, because the whole game is all, if they got you mentally, then there's never gonna be a way out. I never allowed no job in the history of life, ever to have my mind. I always, if anybody that you can ever meet that know me, that worked with me, they'll tell you that this nigga was always on some shit. There was never a point where I was just on some regular shit ever in life. I'm always, if I'm fucking doing security at a fucking at a store or whatever like that, you'll see me posted up. Then I walk around. I used to create stations. Like I have either I'm on a computer or sometimes if I had a suite, because people used to fuck with me. So I have my laptop in there. I'm banging out orders. You know, I'm still pushing out work. So I'm running my business. Most of the time I found a way to run my business on their clock. So that's why in most jobs I always had to go up to some form of management. So because if I'm a manager, my job is to make sure shit get done. So as long as I make sure shit get done, I had certain privileges to have a laptop, have this, you know what I'm saying, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm getting my shit done, and you know, but I'm not making it obvious that I'm doing too much work, but I play it out. But I'm always in this the game right here. And don't nobody control this. Nobody ever controlled this. You know what I'm saying?
You was never a mental slave. Never.
Ever in life. Ever in life. That's why I walked off of so many jobs. I probably walked off about at least 10 and probably got fired from about 10. You know, because once a motherfucker challenged me as a person or disrespect me as a person, hey, it can go whatever level. I don't care who you are. You the manager here. You don't control and run me though. You know what I'm saying? So when you talking to me, you better watch what the fuck you say and how you say it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. I've never been that guy. You know what I'm saying? I've never been that guy. just because you paying me and I'm this and that. No. A man's gonna respect the man. Now, if you let them do that, they gonna run over your ass. But I ain't never. But the funny part about it is, either that's what actually put me in positions of power, and pretty much have even more leeway and control, because they either gonna get rid of me or they gonna respect the shit. Like now they my homies and shit, because they know I
Right.
probably fucking head after work. But it's but that's still controlled chaos though. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a madman, right? I'm here to do my job. I'm gonna do it great, and I'm gonna try to find ways to make the job better for everybody. So I'll come up with bright ideas like, hey, what if we do it like this? We can get done. Oh shit! So they implement shit, my ideas in their system. I ain't asking no fucking royalties. I just want to get the fuck out of here when it's time to go, right? So I need the system to go smooth so I can get the fuck out and get back to why I'm here. Like immediately when I punch out, I'm back on the court. I'm back on my court immediately. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, no, it don't matter. Yeah, kids, whatever. Okay, I got kids. I'm still grinding. You see what I mean? It's still now it's gonna be even more. You know what I'm saying? That's even more of a reason why you can't submit, settle down, or slow down and stuff like that. If you got the more responsibilities, the more work you need to put in. I don't understand. Tell people slow down. The more reason why you have to be great. You know, and while you young, this is where you put in. That's when you put in that dirty grind. You know what I'm saying? Like that dirty grind. Like your eyes are so fucking red. Somebody think you probably smoked the whole fucking pack.
Right.
You know? No, it's because you're a fucking maniac. You're a maniac for greatness.
When I tell you I was questioning those same things you were saying, like, wow, I'm so surprised because, wow. Like, because life will send me them challenges and they'll be like, am I supposed to be doing this? Like, I don't get it. But like when you said life will hit you with those challenges and literally not allow you to do certain things because it's pushing you towards your destiny, that just blew my mind.
Bro, it was to the point where, let me tell you, bro, look, it's to the point where I like 2010-ish, I was on the brink and I called here where I was at war with gods, where I don't know, a real dark. I was in limbo. I think I was in a real dark place, because certain things that was happening was like, damn, like I can't win. It's like
right.
It's like, dude, I'm trying to do this and do this, and now this is happening. A lot of stuff was revolving around, the government, the agencies. Maybe I'm constantly getting pulled over. I'm constantly locked up. I got food on my car. I'm at school, man. I'm at fucking school.
Sure.
Trying to I can, you know what I'm saying? As a form of security, financial security. Man, I'm trying to fucking learn some trades. I was making $350 a month to go to school, to go to this program. $350 a month, right?
Damn.
Actually, how was I still managing my own career, my own car, pimp? I don't know how the fuck I was doing. So I think because of that, I've always been able to use a little money, because I always, no matter how much money I've ever had, if I made 10, I'm investing 5 back into myself. If I make 10, I'm investing 5 back into myself. I don't give a fuck. If I make $10, whatever I can buy for 5 that can educate me, whether it's an ebook, stuff like that, I'm investing it into myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm my biggest investment. You your biggest investment.
Damn. See,
you can't do shit for nobody else if you're not great. If you don't put
That takes leverage to a whole new level. You just leverage every aspect of yourself. Wow. Okay.
have invested as far as for education and experience, I really acquired an addiction for it. I'm addicted to knowing things. I'm addicted to education.
Yeah.
I'm literally, I think I need counseling. But hey, that's an addiction that I'm proud for or whatever like that. It is what it is. That's what makes me who I am. You know. But and that's also that creates what I have to realize is that such a degree of separation between me and a lot of other people. You know what I'm saying? Like we're just not on the same.
Right.
I'm on a like my goals is so. I tell people like you got personal decision. You can either put it like this: if you aim it for the roof, right? If you aim it for the roof, you might hit the roof. It might go over and land on the roof. You might hit the roof, or it might hit the window too, right?
Right.
Right. But based upon what you're aiming for, but if you shoot for the moon, you're gonna surpass the roof, guaranteed.
100%.
Right. So the goal is to always way higher. And it took me a long time to get that understanding too. It takes, look, time is money time. The illusion is that you got to put in a shitload of time to make a shitload of money.
Right.
Now it may take you a shitload of time to gain a business, money, and self or whatever like that, but the actuality behind it actually doesn't take a lot of time to make a lot of money. It actually takes the same amount or less amount of time
Exactly.
to make a lot, as opposed to the same bullshit ass peanuts for our whole life. Literally, once I realized that fucked me up. Everything just don't make sense. Like it's to the point now. It's like you talking about somebody that worked as a slave and got paid probably $230 a week. You know what I'm saying? And that's putting in hours. Because during that time I was fighting the background. A lot of shit was just looking back on my record, you know, so I was going through temp agencies. So I was the bottom pick of a fucking worker and employee. You know what I'm saying? Like we had to wear a special vest and shit. So everybody getting paid. I had niggas younger than you that was making top dollar at the, you know, on that level. Top dollar was name, and I'm sitting right on the job, but because I'm a
Right.
worker. You see what I mean? So have to accept that, deal with that, grind it out, and still get my respect. You see what I mean? See that's what's always been with me. I'm gonna get my respect, you know. But what I realized is you have to break the cycle of time. When we decide what career we want to get into, you have to ask yourself, all right, because you got to really decide, is it a good idea to make this a hobby or all right, because you want to be passionate in both. You want like, for instance, like music. You know what I'm saying? Music has to be my hobby. Why? Because the amount of time that I put in and the amount of time I may have to put in to make that work, and based on the competition, music is overly
Right.
It's like everybody's a fucking rapper.
Yeah.
When you're involving yourself in an industry like that, your odds are slim to none, as opposed to guaranteed. In business, you want to invest your time and your money into areas that you can more so guarantee, because you focus on areas where there's limited competition. And if you position yourself to a certain degree, you become the competition.
Right.
like in my and everything is still hip hop at the same time. My league and the way I do things, I'm the kind, right? Or if it's somebody that's dominant in another area, I'm open to partnerships. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no problem.
Yeah.
But my whole mind state is I'm the fucking competition, right? So there is no competition past the nigga in the middle. So by the time I put myself in a position where I don't have to sell nothing. All I gotta do is present. All I got, hey, it's you fucking take it or leave it. You want to build up, stay humble, right? But be great, right? Like don't let talk you down. Talk about stay humble. Be great. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yo, turn all the way the fuck up, though. You know what I'm saying? See, people don't like your turn up. Turn all the way the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like they either with you or against you. In business, you either in business, it's in the best interest to get out, stay out my way. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what you're doing, long as it's over here. That's just how that's because everything my on a gimmick, and a lot of areas of businesses that are built on a gimmick. You know, most of these people are authentic. You know, most of the people have a ratio of 70-30, 70% just being marketing, meaning 70% of their actual skill set marketing, right? And 30%, 10% skill set of just, you know, awareness of information within.
Yeah.
The problem is most viewers don't know the difference between the two because the eye people are attracted to lights, cameras, action like that. So
as long as it sounds good.
These are the people that are right. So the light overshadows, you know, the actual, because the people that imagine, like, if you I don't know, you could just tell, like, you just have to be able to tell.
I know what you're saying, because like I was watching the Kanye West documentary a few days ago. He was talking about how no one really believed where he was at, and he had to prove every single time, like, no, I'm a producer, I'm a rapper, and I'm the greatest, so I'm just gonna show y'all. So I'm like, yeah, you could tell.
That's a perfect example. That's what kept me up the last couple of days while I was working out.
Yeah.
The shit that see what makes us have content or relatable is his grind and experience was different, but it's relatable because
exactly
the game is kind of, sort of, in general. You know what I'm saying? Because the same principles apply to my life, to my journey. The same principles apply to yours. You see what I mean? It's got the same principle. You know, like at that first, I think that interview, I think with MTV or some shit like that, they put his name on the contract, right?
Yeah.
His name is Kanye West, so he
not just Kanye.
He's like, man, see, niggas that know you want to just call you, oh, Ye or West. He like, they don't want to like give you that respect of
exactly.
Kanye. That's the whole thing you got to stand on. Like, but he could have just been in there and like sucking for love and like accepting the fact that, oh my God, thank you guys for putting me on the show and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Up and standing on his principle. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much position of power he's in, that nigga Kanye West always stood on his principle.
Facts.
So, you know, and he's one of the most outspoken people in the fucking world.
Yep.
That's brutally too honest. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but so I can respect that. So me watching, I can see some similarities in him that characteristics in myself. You know what I'm saying? I like this nigga.
Yeah.
I like, you know, it's like, because And when you watch him, you can tell the difference. When a person, first of all, there's no such thing as perfect fucking image. Everybody portray this perfect fucking image. You know, everything they do just looks so perfect.
Exactly.
This lifestyle. Hey, man, look, first of all, I'll be the first to tell you, most people ain't ready for this shit. Most people don't want my lifestyle because they don't want my fucking commitments and obligations. Most people can't, you know what I'm saying? Most people can't handle the workload. Most people can't handle the stress and the pressure. You know what I'm saying? That is the reality of my fucking lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so no. So my energy, because that's the actual reality of the lifestyle of being me, you know, it's like that would mean I'm not gonna be on, my energy gonna be different because it's real. You see what I mean? It's not like that other shit that they be on. Like, no, I respect it, you know? And you know, to me, I feel like, yeah, it's my job to call that shit out every time chance, you know?
This goes back to what you were saying in the beginning. They want the rewards and the greatness of what you have, but not actually putting the work in.
And you got these fraud ass motherfuckers that pretend like they got it, and y'all giving them y'all money, and all they doing is using the money to stay up or to keep their bills paid, and y'all think it's because of the information that they're telling. Like, you know what I'm saying? No, it's your
Right.
Nothing they're talking about.
Yeah.
If I told you how many business consultants I've spoken to within it's just within this year alone. How many business consultants? It's probably one or two business consultants that is probably with their shit. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, you be talking to them about. I talk to people about the shit they do on their Instagram. Like, hey, I see you doing this and doing that. Hey, how about you know, I provide you with this, and you can offer your people that. You can add value to you. You can add more credibility to you, to your following. How many people take advantage of that? They don't, because it reveals where they are and where they're not, right? And they want to keep that secret, keep that illusion going. They'd rather go without, keep the illusion going on with you, and they'd rather miss out on the able to provide themselves more and you more, just to keep the illusion. So it's like they don't give a fuck about nothing but the fucking image.
Yep. Like for example, somebody's doing Forex, and like, oh, I got this Forex class, and I make all this money. But in actuality, he makes $100,000 a year because he's a doctor, not because he does Forex. But the way he portrays himself online is, I make all this money because I teach Forex. But in reality, that's not really what he does. So for anyone who goes to him, what they see is, oh, this guy talks about Forex, but he makes a lot of money, but he won't tell them that, you know, his actual source of income is from, because of the fact that he's a doctor. So that's funny that you said that.
That's what that's a lot of shit that's going, because that is very important information. The actual source of the position that they're in a lot of times has nothing to do with
exactly.
I ask yourself, so why did they do that? Okay, this is why. Well, you guys just want to, you know, be greedy and tap into other industries and stuff like that.
Right.
You got other people that have to to other industries in order to survive, because they've created this big illusion. See, the bad side to the illusion, you got to keep up with the shit.
Right.
Keep up with the shit. That shit costs.
Facts.
So the majority of the time, energy and money has to go towards continuously purchasing and maintaining the bullshit. They really can't afford to maintain the real shit.
Facts. So why do they do it? Just for the image? Like, that's why they do it, huh?
Well, quite frankly, in reality, they realize that I call these people vampires of consciousness. In reality, they realize that oh, the world of information is a large pool of ignorant motherfuckers. So if they say if you got in the world of information, in the league and industry of information, at least 90% of people within the industry of the shit are ignorant to a lot of the subject matters, right?
Right. But they want to know.
Think about it. So you got so this goes back to so now it being a nice business move. Fuck yeah,
Right.
if you identify that ratio, that means it's free game. I mean, this is why I can spot them from a mile away. This is why you got people that go from fucking being fucking nobody. I've met people in like I know exactly who they are, where they are at literally in life. You know what I'm saying? They go from this and they put on the marketing image and they start putting it out there and they see what happens is the people start feeding the shit. So they throw some shit out there and people start saying, ooh, ah, and the people actually start
validating them.
Exactly.
And now they really feel like they're that person. Like, wow, I really am this guru in this area that I just learned 5 seconds ago.
Initially, they know they ain't shit and they don't know shit, right?
Right.
But eventually, you start getting a long run, 6 months, a year. Your followers.
Exactly.
Oh shit! And this now shit. I am right
now.
You a fucking fraud. You know what
exactly.
That's why frauds want to stay far away from the real shit. Because if you bring the real shit towards fake shit, now the people can identify.
Mm-hmm.
That's why these motherfuckers that get big platforms and shit will never interview no real motherfuckers out here that's doing shit for real. We'll never expose that because that'll be a conflict of interest. That's why people and a lot of my people we gotta create our own way and or force their ass to open to you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because they don't want to do it. They either gotta do it or we create our own shit. Because they try to hoard. These guys are gatekeepers. They don't want y'all. If y'all really know the truth of shit, that'll take money out their pocket.
Facts. They wouldn't be able to tap into the ignorant people and feed off of all that. Because you're right, it's a huge pool of people who want to know information but don't. And then that person that realizes that, they can tap into that market and just feed off of it for so long. As long as they sound smart and look good.
I make $100,000.
Exactly.
Hey, my name is Johnny Walker, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Click the link in the description. If you don't get your fake ass, I cannot stand it, and people go for it.
Yeah.
You spend all your money on all these fucking. Now, this is a double-edged sword. You still have to, at the same time, you have to invest.
Yeah. That's why it's so powerful too, because it's a little bit of truth with the lie. That's why it's so powerful.
That's why
it's a little bit of truth with the lie.
You
right.
You have to know. You have to be able to decipher what's authentic or not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit is stepped on. A lot of shit that y'all stepped on. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't afford this shit costs money. It's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you time and money. So you can't afford to waste money with the improper information, proper sources, and because you're losing time and losing focus. You know what I'm saying? And so it becomes a dirty game. How do you really safeguard yourself? To be honest with you, it goes back to what I was saying earlier. To be honest, it don't matter what I say or anybody. A lot. When it boils down to it, you're not gonna really know the difference
until you experience it. Yeah, you only know because you tried all the terrible ones and went through them.
Most people won't, but most people won't make it to this because you said it'll break. They be like, "Fuck
it, bro." Yeah.
You know, it's
That's
just like,
true.
now the reward is the people that go through all the doors and find the right sources, find the right information. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a character trait.
Yeah. And
See,
few people have that one. Few people have that. Especially if they keep on losing.
and guess what? Most people will give up. Most people will give up, and only a few will survive, and those are the ones that are meant to be great. And that is the beauty of the. That's the beauty.
Yeah.
That's why I love the challenge. When I'm trying to crack the code, and I realize this like damn crazy. This shit is not simple. It's not easy. I know that most people are not gonna put the time in figuring the shit out.
So that's a confirmation for you then.
Yeah, if it's to be honest with you, if it's too easy, I need that, I don't know. It just I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So the challenge.
I love it.
Okay. Clap it up for that one. That's amazing. Okay. There we go. The challenge should be great. Gotta go through the challenge.
People say,
Let's see what we got. They going crazy in the comments. What up? Someone said have a great sense of judgment and strong intuition. These people are making life worse for themselves. I'm slowly getting my own discernment. Sad part is their customers are crashing out. Yeah. I had to filter out certain people. I only watch my about 5 main people. That's good too. You listen to too many people, it can cloud your judgment.
Yeah, that's you have to, because you learn something from everything, and you gotta know. You can have X amount of people on your list. You gotta know when to go to at what point in time to get what you need.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's another tool. If you build a fucking house, from the ground up, you're not gonna worry about the chimney right now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? So you
don't watch videos on the chimney right now. You haven't even started the house.
Foundational point. You know what I mean? Only foundational point. Okay? So that's pretty much how we got to approach.
That's deep.
But yeah, that something just sparked that in me or whatever.
You were snapping. You didn't answer so many of my questions. That's crazy. Questions of life that I had, the problems that you just answered. That's good. I'm gonna go and listen to this on repeat. You snapped on this one. It's crazy.
Everybody want to be great, right? But how much time are you willing to give up, to put in? How much money? How do you sacrifice for greatness? How deep are you willing to sacrifice? How much are you willing to get to be? It's a lot.
You would know better than most.
There's a lot. I feel like go out.
All right, sound like 24 hours.
24 hours. 24 hours. 24 hours of dedicated hours. I could get that crack go 48 hours. But that's hours of exact focus. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of times I'm gonna be honest, like with me, it's like it's so much going on all the time. It's like, all right, so I might go if I'm up for 12 hours. The first 3 to 4 hours might be tough. Like I might be scattered the first 3 to 4 hours. I actually be tapped in into the 4th hour.
Same.
So you know what I'm saying? So really the time period you getting allocated to focus, I mean, or to those I call it getting in my zone. You see what I mean? So it might take a while for me to get in my my zone, I'm tapped in, and I try to utilize, and that's the, you know what I'm saying. So now once I'm in this zone mentally, I'm tapped in. Try to stay in as long. I try to get as much work done as possible while I'm in that zone. You see what I mean?
Right. That's
Because
something I'm dealing with right now because, like, when you're in the zone, you can get a lot done. So I'm trying to find out how to consciously put myself in that motivated state, to be in the zone. Because, like, it happens randomly, but I want to have it on a more controlled state, you know what I'm saying? On a day-to-day basis.
you gotta know how to properly prep. So I might do, like, it's all about, now this is what comes from. Okay, look, you see my hoodie?
Yeah.
This is my work uniform. So anytime I got my hoodie on out and I put the hood, I'm in.
Okay.
Like I'm going in now, going in. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm like, don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm zoned
Yeah.
in. So, but on top of that, it might be,
Ooh, that's deep. Cause that's how I feel about this. When I put this turtleneck on and this Clarkson necklace, I'm in the Clarkson zone. I'm ready to receive and give knowledge.
it's
Yeah.
certain sense of mind, right? So
Wow.
you know yourself, right? You know, so you have to know what's feeding that. So okay, I have particular things that I could have some either playing on the screen. Sometimes it don't have to be audio, just playing. Or so let's say like movies, like, if it's a particular Bruce or of the art, maybe I like playing my old track, my old beat. I always tap in with that night, go back and play all my old beats, and that's my zone, that's my work, that's when I'm working, like it's work point, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And and like I say, I'm always like, on multiple bases, like.
Damn, you got the wow. You're in the back cave right now. Okay, you're in the back cave. You're in the back cave. Got it.
TV in the front, TV in the back. This the laboratory. You see what I mean?
Yeah. You in the fortress of solitude, okay? The back.
Yeah. I might not come out till 7 a.m, right? So when I lay down, and I if I might wake up at 2 o'clock.
Right.
Then somebody, the rest of the world might be like, damn, you just getting up?
You sleeping in. Sleeping in.
So people might think I don't get enough sleep, but I'm gonna sleep 8 hours. Most of the time, I'm gonna sleep my 8. I'm just sleeping during the periods that y'all are up, and I'm up during the period that y'all sleep. You see what I mean? But the amount, during the daytime, everybody has their list of things that they do and a list of things that they have to do that they wasn't planning on doing, right? It's life. So the day is already gonna subtract certain amount of time from you anyway by default. When you at the pioneer hours, like your 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, your connection, your connection to the ethers and to the universe is a lot stronger because you don't have a lot of people absorbing the energy. You see what I mean? Wow. So you have access to more energy. You know what I'm saying? So because think about it. If we 9 to 5, you know what I'm saying? 9 to 5, everybody's getting up, getting ready for work, getting ready for school. You got all the traffic. You got all these engines running, all this energy all these people conducting energy. From the body energy, vehicle energy, lights, all this shit. Everybody's that's a disconnect that's a universal disconnect. It's like Is this making sense?
No, it makes a lot of sense because just like we were saying before, if you spending this type of energy, this physical, mental, spiritual energy, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna have time for yourself. And then we were talking about that earlier, how the system makes that, designed for us to not be great. So we literally have to be able to identify when those points in our lives are at the strongest. So early in the morning, okay, so we have more of a connection to draw from the energy of our environment to actually do these things. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, I'm gonna try
So
that.
some people are morning people though. That might be a bad. That might work in the opposite favor. But so it all depends on how you allocate your time. Everybody's a little different. But
Yeah.
so can you get work done during the day? Yeah. If you can. To me, the zone is very different. But if you're a morning person, you know how to lock in. You know how to create those moments of solitude and degrees of separation between like that, like literally nothing else exists outside of this. Once I'm tapped the fuck in. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
there is none of that. So and by the time I rest, it's almost like the concept of when they say, the Jesus story, the first 6 days he was creating the world, you know what I'm saying? The seventh day he rested. That's how much work or energy I project out into production and producing, and and as far and get it to a point or points of completion. So by the time I rest, I can't even rest until I get to a certain point of completion. Where I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I don't know what time. I don't care how long it's gonna take you. You are not. I cannot go to sleep until this is done, because we have to get used to getting things off of our plate. We carry too much shit onto the next day, to the next day, to the next day, to the next day. It takes some people fucking weeks or months to accomplish shit I could do in fucking 2 months. I mean, 2 days or a 24-hour period, because they just don't take the time to just lock in and get that shit the fuck done. Because the quicker you get that shit out your life, the quicker you get onto the next page. You know what I'm saying? So now you actually cheating time. Now you controlling time because you're doing things at a speed that's abnormal. You're not supposed to be able to complete tasks of this magnitude this quick, which means you can get to your levels of success a lot faster, which means make a lot more money a lot faster.
Time manipulation.
Why do you think there's services that I could provide, I want to provide, but as far as business wise, I can't afford to provide because it takes too much of my time. So until I can find a way to allocate the services, acquire the right people to perform those particular tasks, I can't afford to, so that's a personal decision. Now I might be the one that might have the skill, the knowledge, and understanding of that. But in order for me to be able to offer, I have to teach somebody in order to offer to the public. Because me trying to, that's like me trying to sell. Put it like this: I have a T-shirt press, right? I have a T-shirt press over here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And true enough, I thought about making my own, making the guy buy the T-shirts. I'm all about in-house everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought
factory.
right, but the time that it takes and the focus that it takes for me to design and print out T-shirts and mail and be mailing T-shirts out, that's
right.
taking time. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have, so for what, $25 orders? No, that don't make. Do I want to offer it to the people? Yeah. So until I got to the point where I could just maybe focus on the design, and then I can outsource that to a third party, a reliable source that'll get the print done. All I do is put in the order, get the print done. They do the shipping, but I don't got to worry about it. I just, I get paid, they ship, they deliver. Now I can offer the service. You see what I mean? And it won't take away from the time and focus I need to put on bigger projects or more or areas that are more I need to be prioritizing more for whatever reason. You see what I mean? So you can't take your focus away from a million to get a couple hundred. You know what I'm saying? Because want to know why? Because it takes me the same amount of time to make $25 per t-shirt as opposed to getting $150 per license plate. Using the same equipment. Think about that. So that's again, are we properly using the equipment and tools and resources for the right to produce the right things? I could have used this t-shirt machine to do what everybody else is doing, is print t-shirts to lace t-shirts, or I can use it to actually produce a higher value product. You see what I mean?
Wow.
It's the same amount of ink. It's the same amount of ink, the same amount of time, quadruple the return. Now that makes sense. I can do that.
Wow. 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 That's goes back to leverage. Damn. You maximize all the things you have to the maximum level. And you have to be able to identify what you really have to be able to do that.
You have to. You have to understand. But I had to learn a new game though. I'm going into that's the t-shirt industry, right? So right. I have to decide. Okay, I have this product. I want to offer it. So, okay, now I have two choices. One of which I wasn't aware of until a blessing from a friend. So I went the traditional route of heat press. This right here. So
you didn't know about print on demand yet, right?
This is vinyl.
Okay.
This is vinyl. Vinyl has to be cut. So typically a vinyl. Well, okay. So if it's 3 colors on this, technically this is 3 vinyl sheets. So I need a white sheet, a red, and a blue.
Okay.
So you're talking about product costs. So you have to purchase the red, the blue, and the and the white, and you have to cut. You have to cut the red, the blue, and the white to match whatever logo, whatever would like. So you're talking about purchase, cut. So now, so when you talk about cut, they do this thing called weaving. So when you cut, you have to. So that's an art. It ain't just no. You know what I'm saying? You have to learn how to properly weave. And now you have to properly place these motherfuckers on the what's the name, and then you finally press. I'm like, so I bought the equipment, I put in the hours to learn it, and I made sure I completed the product. I did a few shirts. That means, see, I did it first before I made the decision. I'm like, then I realized, okay, I done it, I accomplished that. I know that art now. I know that skill. Now I'm gonna make the decision based on alternative options. That's when I learned sublimation. Sublimation actually presses the ink on the shirt. So I don't need any weaving or this. I don't need to buy this material. I can take the design straight from Photoshop, and I can buy a particular printer. There's a particular printer that you can convert into a sublimation printer. You take the original ink out and use the special ink that's for clothing, and you put it in the cartridges. And then you buy the big paper, like the big ass paper that matches. You know what I'm saying? So 11 by 17s. So I have a big ass press. I think this is 11. I think I got 11 by 15 press. So pretty much I can do anything of the standard, right? Except now I eliminate having to buy additional materials. The only thing I have to worry about is design, print, and press. Right now on the phone with you right now, I can print and press and make you a shirt with your face on it right now.
Damn.
No cap. Like I cut my iron on right there. I print your face out. I press it right there and show you your shit right now. That would have took me. Well, first of all, with this, I wouldn't be able to print your face because it's limited to colors. It's a color limitation, right? Sublimation is going to print the portrait as is, all colors.
Wow.
And it's washable and everything, so it's durable. Now, there's one limitation: it cannot produce white ink. You need a white ink toner. Those are way more expensive. Now, this is the thing: I don't need fucking white. Guess what? This sweater is white, so whatever white areas I want, I just leave blank and take
clear. Right, you leave those transparent.
These are the decisions that we supposed to make in business. So if I would have went the other route, now I'm leaving out of the league of information and law and the areas that I'm in, and now I'm sitting up here pressing up shirts and shit like I'm a motherfucking t-shirt artist or some shit. No, that's a conflict of interest. I'm not gonna become. I don't have time to become. If I'm gonna do something, I want to be the best. I don't have time to become the best fucking t-shirt presser. I just don't.
Exactly. I wish you would.
That's not gonna work for me.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why God Body took so long to come out, bro. So this the inside game.
Okay. Got you.
This is why, because I cannot make it make sense at the time. You know what I'm saying? I did not at the time did not find the proper source that I can seamlessly allocate products and deliver products from start to finish from me to purchaser. You see what I mean? Without taking time and energy away from trust and estate planning, traveling, and the Malachian Empire. Can nothing take away from that? For the sake of making a couple dollars on some t-shirts.
Yeah. Now,
since I'm able to do it now, okay, great. I can make extra $10 per shirt, right? Because I'm only gonna sell it at a certain price. I'm not gonna sell it sky high because I'm more so. This is another decision you got to make. I can sell it. I can sell shirts for $40, $50 a piece instead of sell it 25, 30, right? But so am I seeking to make this to sell God Body Designs or Malachian Empire apparel for profit purposes or for marketing purposes?
Ooh.
So if I can make it cheap enough for the client where I can still make a couple dollars, that's almost like somebody paying me to market my brands because you got a shirt and you're the one that's walking around.
We're promoting you.
So to be in my best interest to make it cheap enough for you not to think twice to buy it, so you can buy it and buy more and market more. So you're my free marketer. So I'm giving y'all inside game.
Boom.
Business.
Wow.
So that's a market. So I turned that's not a financial tool. That's a marketing tool. That's so people can start recognizing our symbols, recognizing our labels when they see it. This is a branding and marketing strategy in which I happen to make a couple dollars off of too. Why not?
Why not? So what was the importance of the first stage though? Having to put in that manual labor to do it yourself first. What's the importance of that? Since you knew later on you was going to outsource it because that's not your main focus.
I would not be able to come to the decision or making the appropriate decision if I didn't go through the experience. I wouldn't know. I just wouldn't know.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. Or I would have been so eager, and the ego could have fed me wrong. I could have allowed the ego to feed me wrong, and I could have just been over here weaving fucking t-shirts and shit. And to be honest with you, that particular service was never meant for me to do personally ever. See a lot of things, some things I feel like I need to have my hands on. But the whole goal is to see. As the head over things, I'm not like a lot of you know, your GM, CEOs, or presidents of organizations. They just, they know they're good at telling people what to do, blah blah blah. I can't allocate a service that I don't know myself. You know what I'm saying? It's like I have to know enough of that service, because that's the only way I can guarantee particular things. Certain things can't be guaranteed, but in business you want to guarantee as much as you can. You know what I'm saying? When you sell the service. So if I pay so and so to do this, a business trust, and they get paid whatever to do that. That's their job. But my company offers the service, but they are administrating that service. Mm-hmm. What if they decide to quit? What if they get COVID? What if, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
None of that's personal, and we hope he gets better. But in business, your client is still gonna be like, where the fuck is the product?
Exactly.
Like, okay, like, and that's a big black business problem, because people use all the time as an excuse in black business, like, oh, so and so happened, this happened, and blah blah blah, and so. Your customer does not give a fuck about your relationship status, who did this, did that. They don't. I'm sorry, they don't care if your mama died. You know, it's they want to know where is the product or service. Exactly. So, as a business owner, your job and duty is to create measures, put measures in place on just in case, right? You have just in case measures. Okay. I'll let you do that. Just in case, I'm able to pick up the ball if you drop it. He's able to pick up the ball if you drop it. No matter what, nothing stops the in and outs of my companies. Nope. I cannot afford for anybody to have that much power within my companies. I don't care what it is. Especially not my core services.
That's credibility right there. That's what that is.
People get into business with people, partnerships and stuff like that. You know, he knows that, you know this, and y'all really don't share things amongst each other. You guys don't really master each other's. You guys don't cross train. My team has to be cross trained. Okay, this is your primary duty, but hey, if I need you to jump on this today, you already know what it is. Everybody has to be cross trained to be able to maintain certain operations or whatever. And what do you think happens when you take on partnerships and stuff like that? Like, if people only knew the game on that. So that means you got to take care of your load plus the load of your partners. And you can't tell your partners that, oh, we're backed up over here and blah, 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 blah. So that has nothing to do with their orders. That has nothing to do with XYZ. Now, of course, yeah, if things happen, you get backed up. But the point is, you can't get used to using that as an excuse. You have to identify, okay, yeah, we're backed up, XYZ. Okay, what the fuck can we do to get this shit over and out? And what can we do to prevent us from being in this position again? Period.
Right.
That's all. That's it. That's all. Like, there's no other explanation that's respected in business.
It's like a marriage. If one is working, you got to pick it up. Otherwise, it's going to, fail. And in a business partnership, you don't want that to break. It's like that. So
you really don't. And like any of my partnerships, there's even a higher priority on my business partnerships, where it's like, especially in the beginning stage, where performance is everything.
Right.
Performance and delivery. It's like, yo, hey, we need to get this shit in the fuck out. Like, yo, like, we can't play no games with this. Let's get this. This is That's if you in it for the long. Thing is, most people don't put in the time again to 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 organize themselves and run an organized business to even be able to run a seamless service.
Right. They're
You
not.
know, it's not just about taking the money. You know, there is more. People said at that shit, and
Right.
and they don't really do that shit right, to be honest.
Mm.
And bookkeeping be all fucked up.
Facts. See what these comments are saying. Somebody said I made two, but they kind of lame. Not gonna lie. Somebody said that's why I want to get into these NFTs because digital is mentally demanding, but not physically demanding. Yeah, TikTok NFTs is digitally demanding, not physically demanding. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's a market I'm trying to tap into as well. NFTs.
Yeah, one screen. I'm over here. I was turning one of my beats into an NFT.
Wow, you already ahead of the game. Not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. Like what I'm talking to. Not surprised.
Yeah, I can't afford not to be in every and I can't. That's part of my. I got to be in everything. I got to be aware. I got to be ahead of what's coming. You know, that's how you survive. That's how you survive. And like, no, you can't be one of those old heads that you know, get comfortable in their success and the money they got, you know, and then like as the time passes, those are the ones that be thirsty, you know, looking for young minds and stuff like that because they ran out of fucking ideas and then got lost behind time and shit. They don't even know what the hell the world is even at right now. You know,
Exactly.
it's hard for them to kind of find their way at a certain point. So now you always want to be ahead of anything, you know, that you see that's going to possibly be a big thing or great, especially in relation to, you know, currency. You know,
That's a big topic too that maybe we should talk about in the future. You know, our personal perception of the world versus reality of the world. But I see a lot of people, like a lot of old people, who don't like where the world is going right now, and they just think if they think hard enough, they can stop it from happening because it's not what they're comfortable with. But it's like the world's moving like this, and you just because you're not caught up don't mean you could just stop it. You know what I'm saying? So
definitely not gonna stop it at all. You know, it be in your best interest to be advised, and you know, it's almost scary for a person not to be aware.
exactly, I'm not aware yet.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm. That's what worries me. I'm worried to not be aware of what the hell, you know. I be having certain visions. I'm like, I'm like, oh hell no. That's nothing that keeps me driving. I'm like, man, we are so far behind schedule, man. It's retarded. If people only knew, you know. But the people that take certain actions now will at least be a part of some sort of elite, you know, after, you know, the new major conversions has completed or whatever. You know, I think it's gonna become a time where NFTs and, you know, cryptocurrencies in general is not going to be as easily accessible as far as to be able to buy and trade and make money off of stuff like that. I think
Right.
once all the currencies reach a point of value, it's going to be at that value, right? It's going to be at that value, and then all the gates are going to be locked, and that is just going to be it. Those are going to be every country is going to have their token, and every token is going to have its value. And with those tokens of value is what they use in general to exchange from one country to the next, to the
Yeah.
next. You know, and then 100 to 200 years from now, you know, nobody would ever really know that in the beginning, motherfuckers was making money off the money.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Think
Mm-hmm.
about that. Think about that. Like, think about, think about what was the possible transition from the gold and silver into the dollar? Like what transition really happened before the dollar bill was worth a dollar bill?
Right.
Like before it was worth $1 was worth 100 pennies.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Like that whole process.
You have to give it. See, in order to for something to have a said value, it has to go in circulation first. So you got all these currencies being created, developed because you have to go in circulation. It can't go in circulation if it's not being bought, if it's not being sold, and if it's not being traded.
So I'm sure with the regular dollar, no one believed that we'd be using it like we're using it now. Way back then, no one was just like now. No one believes, oh, we're not gonna have crypto like that. But as time goes by, it started to become more and more normal. And you're gonna go to McDonald's, you're gonna see NFT, you're gonna see crypto, it's like, oh, it's the regular.
Yeah, it's a mandatory topic. It's one of those things where, yeah, I can sit back and say like, fuck, I got so much on my plate already, XYZ. Like, but I know I have to fit that in my portfolio. I have to fit that on my resume. I have to fit that in my memory bank. My think tank. It's a necessity for the survival of my business and my empire. You know what I'm saying? And just survival in general. This is where the world is going. Period. So you got to get your hands on it. You have to understand it in order to control it. Right now the gates are wide open, and this is where we position ourselves. Whether we like it or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think some people need to spend as much time in fucking reality as they do in the fucking metaverse. To be honest with you, I ain't wishing no harm on nobody, but that metaverse shit gonna get ugly soon.
Oh yeah. I don't want to ever have a day where it's actually like the Matrix. Like when people question the reality versus like that's gonna be a scary day.
Yeah, if the mind is constantly occupied in this meta space, it's gonna eventually start to believe that this is the reality. When they start developing technologies where we start to actually have certain senses and feelings, within the metaverse. When you got a body pad on where you get punched by a character in the fucking metaverse, you feel that shit. You know what I'm saying? So once they create the technology where we can feel, we can say where we can feel pain and pleasure. Hint, 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 hint. Once we can feel pain and pleasure, all this game the fuck over. Do you really think? Look, if that there was a possibility to go into the metaverse and start cyber fucking all
right.
cyber fucking, all everybody they ever wanted to in the metaverse. It's like, and feel a sensation of such. Do you think how much time you really think they're gonna really spend out here?
Exactly. No one's gonna want to be in reality.
Motherfuckers out here cyber fucking all goddamn day. But yeah, work, and then you're gonna be cyber fucking.
Right. Oh my goodness. That's a scary thought, but it's
look. So it's gonna be real relationships in the metaverse. Like it's so niggas gonna be getting into real fights and shit.
Right.
Like, who the fuck you in the metaverse with? You with this? You know what I'm saying?
Right, because you can look like how you want to look like too, so that's gonna be crazy.
People gonna cross that line in the metaverse. That means men and women are gonna be doing things that they typically would not be able to get away with here, right? So that shit can,
Right to the metaverse. It's gonna be the hood, the metaverse. Oh god, that's literally gonna be another world, straight up.
Psychology is gonna change.
Yeah,
we gotta know that. Like mentally, you have to be able to understand. Like, dude, do you know that? Do you know what it means to hear news that somebody purchased a house inside the metaverse next door to Snoop Dogg for I think $100,000 or some shit, some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Probably, like, that's not just cool. That's scary, right? It's not just cool. Like, do you know what that means, right? That things like that is what we need to pay attention, and we need to see things for what they really are, right? So you got to understand if that's the information that's being publicly broadcast, that information being publicly broadcast, first of all, purposely. That's what they want.
Yeah.
Now, think about the possibilities that they don't want you to be paying attention to. That fuck what Snoop Dogg doing. What the fuck is the fucking Rockefeller family doing? What the fuck is the Bush doing? What the fuck is the Clinton family doing? What the fuck is the Trump family doing? What the fuck is the Gates family doing? I want to know what they're doing. I want to know what the nigga from that owns Amazon. I want to know what the fuck he's doing. That motherfucker probably digitizing Earth right now.
Right. Because when I hear that, I hear, okay, now anyone can be anyone's neighbor now. When I hear that Snoop Dogg song, I'm like, okay, now anybody can be anybody.
I always think of a mind of a fucking mastermind, of a psychopath mastermind. And when you think of, I mean, I'm sorry, but you know, particular races of people, they always have had an agenda and desire and a thirst, like an addiction to conquer the human race, to be like the hedge of that. You see what I mean?
Dominate it all.
And they've always wanted to create life. That's what Frankenstein comes in at. They always wanted to. I don't want to say this, but I don't mean it the way I'm saying it. But in essence, the white man has always wanted to play God.
Bingo.
White always wanted to play God.
Yeah.
So the metaverse technology concept is a way that he can play God on a whole nother level. And he's already been mastering playing God on the physical level with fucking artificial intelligent robots and shit like that now have feelings and shit like that.
Exactly. You know,
let's go holler at old girl from Saudi Arabia.
Sophia, I think. Or
yeah, go holler at her and her brother. She'll tell you that. I think she's going to school now, planning on having kids now.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, so let's really think about. I don't give a fuck about what Snoop is doing, right? I want to know what the fuck Bezos is doing. I want to know what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? It's like no. Just think about what everybody's talking about this shit now. We can do, you know what I'm saying? Like a couple $100, you can create this and do this and do that. A couple thousand, you could do. Imagine if you had the money to do what the fuck you want, like on whatever level.
Oh snap! This is bringing up that TV show I watched. I don't know if you ever watched a show called Altered Carbon, but that must be where they're trying to go. They're trying to take their human consciousness and put it into a actual device to just be in that world forever. That way they can live.
You talking when they had people in those sleeves?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. That's always been the objective. So we got to be very careful with this technology, which is why we got to stay. This is a mandatory education. We have to obligate ourselves to fitness into our think tanks. You know what I'm saying? To stay ahead of this shit, because yeah, if on the lowest level, we got to understand that the natural resources and all of the major assets in the world are being digitized right now. Once this shit becomes digitized and the whole world starts only transacting in digital currency, that's when they can control. Remember, everything is about a wallet. That's why they call it, you got to get a wallet in order to have a coin or to transact. That's when they control your wallet, because they control the technology that the coins are held within the wallet.
Wow. So
it becomes another form of bondage and slavery, in essence, because the technology is controlled. Now, there may be outs to that, and I think the outs to that is offhand is us, creating our own currencies, creating our own markets, but us transacting in our own centralized markets. We have to stop. We have to eliminate the need to transact outside of our markets. Outside our currencies.
Need our own technology, basically.
Yes, we. Yeah.
Let's. Yeah. Okay, I see what you're doing. I see.
Yeah. But bro, I'm finna get off here and get my ass back to work.
Okay. Well, this is an amazing build. I'm glad we touched on so many different topics, and wow, I'm still shocked, but this was amazing. Glad I got to be up on here again.
Day. Till next time.
Okay.
Peace.
Peace to everybody in the comments too.
Make sure y'all on that. The conference is tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. Yeah, make sure y'all on that conference tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central, y'all. I'll be dropping the links inside the network and social media.
Gotcha. I'll be there.
Peace.
Peace out, y'all.